Hey guys, how's it going? It's Jason, and guess what time it is? That's right, folks, it's game time! Yeah! No. Anyway, so today, as you guys can probably see from the screen, I'm playing League of Legends, and I'm playing Jungle Volibear. I'll get into my favorite characters a bit afterwards, but let's just get into the basics here. I lose this game like a bitch, and it is due to bottom lane's fault, and you'll see why soon enough as the game progresses, but don't expect a very happy commentary. I played this game probably a little over an hour ago and decided to post commentary it only because I didn't want to overload my computer with all of the things running behind this game because it takes up a lot of CPU on my laptop. Anyway, so I'm starting Wolves in the Jungle. I have a reasonably well set up team, and they do too. I mean, basic concept. Bottom's got support, AD carry.
I suppose you're expecting some unbearable
There's some
pun.
unbearable pun for you. A little dancing and a laugh. Anyway, top lane we have our Renekton, who early on he doesn't do so well, and here and there him and top lane will trade a kill on themselves and each other. So it's not bad, but it's not really great either. Mid does well. I get her a couple of kills at one point, and bot lane ultimately feeds Varus, who is their bot lane AD carry, until the point where none of us can stop him, and it's just awful. I make a couple mistakes in this game, I'll point them out later on, but anyway, let's get into normal stuff. My life has been uneventful this week. It's just been a long week for me, so I don't really have much to talk about. I beat the new mystery dungeon. I don't know whether I mentioned that last time or not. If I didn't, then there you go. I mentioned it. It's a good game. I won't spoil anything on here only because I'll decide to be nice, but spoiler alert, if you listen to the podcast this weekend, I will probably be spoiling it on there. At least some of it. Anyway, so I won't continue on that topic. Thankfully, bot lane gives me a smiteless blue, which was nice. It makes it a lot easier to gank early on, as you guys will see soon enough, I think. Volibear's loud, so I'm probably going to turn the sound down a tiny bit on here, so if you guys don't notice the laugh and taunt and stuff early on, don't blame me. I'm sorry, I had to turn it down so I could actually talk over this. Anyway, so yeah, nothing's really new with me personally, so I'm just going to try and commentate the game for what I can. I really wish I was in a lane because it makes it a lot easier to say, like, oh, look what this character's doing and stuff. But unfortunately, no one will let me do anything with jungle today so far. I got one support game, and all the rest are jungles. And support games suck, so half the time I'm just sitting in a bush. So, I did a jungle one for you, or at least I was doing well for the first part. So I take red buff right here with smite, and that way I'm running into a lane with a good amount of health. I have all three of my main abilities now, so I can rush in, slow somebody, and eat them alive. I believe right here I go and ping saying I'm going to gank mid first, and I believe Cassiopeia started with wards, because she knew I was here as soon as I walked into that bush. Can't tell you why, can't tell you what her starting items were, I never looked, but there was definitely a blatantly obvious marker saying Jason's sitting in this bush. So Jason sat in this bush for a while. And sooner than later, I walk away, she walks closer, I walk back, she leaves. So definitely think that bush is warded. Whatever. So I end up running top lane, I believe. And Fiora has Renekton pushed right here. It's in the corner. You can't really see it. I didn't move the camera up fast enough. So I decided instead of going in through the river, because I didn't know what item she'd started as, I'd walk in through here. I pop my Q, flash over to her, slow her down with my E, flip her, and then beat the living crap out of her. I get first blood right there. Hopefully you heard it. And right after that, Varus kills off Caitlyn for the first time. And then the bitching will begin. There we go. There's Lulu. I think that's Lulu talking to Caitlyn, or Caitlyn's bitching at Lulu. And Lulu's just angry. Lulu was supposed to play AD carry, but Caitlyn automatically locked into it and said, nope, that's it. I'm playing AD carry, and you can't. So our Lulu was quite pissy, actually. I felt bad. Right here, I tried to run in, Tried to fall back, then run back in again. Tark comes out of the bottom bush. I kind of shrug it off. There wasn't really much we could do at that point. I was just trying to push Cassiopeia off. So I just end up walking back into my jungle. I believe I rushed bottom at this point to see whether they have any wards up. I figured they did, and they go booking off like there's no tomorrow at that point. Seeing right about here. So I assume they have a ward in that bush, and I just kind of go toddling in, hoping to do nothing, and then just end up walking out.
Strength and wisdom.
Uneventful. I wish I could say it was more exciting than that, but there was really nothing to do here but just watch. I complain right here about everybody having wards up, so I can't do much. As I said, it's more eventful for you guys if I'm actually running around lanes and having fun, but this match was just uneventfully slow because I was stuck in the jungle for most of it, beating people up or beating minions up.
Not no fear.
I believe I clear Wraiths again, and then head top to gank, and that's when I'll actually do my first back. There was a ward placed back when I went towards bottom lane in the bush on top lane where Renekton has a ward right now. I didn't see it and only noticed it on the screen here when I'm post-commentating that she placed it. So I go running up there and I was like, I don't have flash up, but I'll just run in from the river this time. And as soon as I had anywhere near her, she just ran off instantly. So at that point I knew, I was like, darn, this bush is probably warded. Hindsight, I noticed it. I wish I had noticed it sooner. Could have saved myself running all the way up there. But it gave Renekton some time to free farm and get a bit more money and minion kills and such. So I shrug. I end up going for my Madrid's Razors and a longsword and my boots and I think a ward and 2 health pots. This is my normal build unless I have more money, obviously, for starting off. It gives me good damage on minions, good damage in general with the longsword, boots for speed, obviously, and a ward in case someone needs one placed somewhere. I don't think I end up placing that ward for a while, though, so don't expect it to leave my inventory very quick. Lol and talking game. Wasn't much going on. Oh, so here, as this is going on, I'll talk about my characters that I usually play. I used to play Wukong like a motherfucker. He was my main guy. He is what I played all my ranked games in so far until he just kind of fell out. I ping here for Katarina to come get blue. See she's being pushed in middle, decide to go try and help her. End up getting... I get it right up to this corner. She doesn't see me, so I run in at this point, and she has to flash to escape me. If she hadn't flashed, she would have been dead. But, oh well. Anyway, so back to characters I play. Wukong, as I said, was my favorite character. He still is. But he's really fallen out of the meta. Like, I can't barely even play him top now because of other people who play top, such as, like, Cho'Gath is one of them I can't beat. Nasus is tough to beat. I think he really needs a buff. Like, him getting buffed would be nice. It would be a lot easier to work with. Katarina doesn't need blue, but I thought she'd want it anyway because of the cooldown reduction, but she said to take it, so I end up getting blue. And I get blue this entire match because no one really needs it. Right about here is where Nami does something crazy. Nami comes after me, and I was like, alright, I'll fight you. I wish I hadn't gotten hit by that bubble. That bubble would have ended up not winning the game. Right here, Varus hits his ult. I go and make sure I make sure Nami dies, and Varus gets a double kill on us. I bitch at Kate right here because I didn't know she was out of mana. I thought that she had mana, so I was going to just tell her to ult the person and forget about it. But she was out of mana. I didn't look. I didn't care. And no, I'm not on crack. But whatever. If I hadn't gotten hit by that Q, I would have been able to kill her on my own. And I really wish Caitlyn would just let me kill her on my own anyway and just died at the tower. Or Varus, because it would have saved an extra kill on Varus. And it would have just been easier. But no. Varus ends up killing Lulu, and Lulu kills him too, which was kind of funny. Our Lulu does more damage than our AD carry does most of this game. I end up taking wolves here, and I believe I go mid afterwards and have some fun. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So beyond Wukong, I play Volley a lot. I play Nasus a lot. I love playing Nasus top. It's one of my favorite things to do, to just farm my Q and suddenly destroy people. Frozen Gauntlet. Frozen Gauntlet is the best top lane item ever. So right here, I just decided to go big. I Q up in the bush and I flash onto her. That way she really has no escape. I slowed her, hitting her, pop my ult. Caitlyn pops her ult, and kill her. Boom, dead, simple. That's exactly how I wanted it to go. I really wish I didn't waste flash, but I don't think I would have been able to get to her in time. I tank a tower shot just because I can. I start killing off the minions to hopefully hold the tower a bit longer. The cat tanks the tower for 2 shots and then lets the minions get back to it. And then Tark decides to come walking out of that left side of the screen right about now. And he comes in, and I was just like, nope, we're fighting him. I put him over my shoulder, slow him. Katarina takes the tower, and I let Katarina get the kill somehow. I'm not sure how she got it. Maybe it was a bouncing blade that I didn't see. But either way, we killed him, and we take the tower right here. I really wish in hindsight that we'd actually pushed the lane further, because it would have made it a lot easier to work with. But I fell back to try and go get red buff, and at this point I believe Fiora takes top lane right about now, I think, and we can't really do anything about it, so I end up just killing off red and backing my boat. Yep, my back right there in the bloody minion farm place, whatever you want to call it, camp. There you go, camp. I'm jumping off the topic of champs I play. I buy Wriggles, I buy second tier boots, because I need the armor at this point, because Varus is getting farmed like a mofo. And I buy a regrowth pendant, that way I can start building my Warmogs. So beyond Wukong, Volibear, Nasus, I play, for the most part, supports otherwise. I can play Caitlyn okay. It's really a toss-up whether I do well as her in game or not, though. Otherwise, my main supports are Sona, Janna, and Taric, I guess. And support Volibear, but I don't really use him that often anymore either, because some lanes just, you can't do anything against them. So I sit here in this bush thinking that Fiora's going to push again. She never pushed, the bitch backed. So I get a farm on top, and I believe Renekton will say in a second, since he's coming down his lane, he'll tell me that he wants to push for his tower. So, me being the great guy that I am, right there, he starts talking. He's like, oh, Volley, help me get the turret. And I was like, alright, whatever. Hindsight, probably shouldn't have. I probably should have just let him take it himself and tried to gank Fiora when she comes up there to kill him. You can see Varus got another double kill right there, and ultimately now is fed to all hell.
It shall be.
I pop my ult just to get his creeps faster and get range on him, because it's a lot simpler. We start hacking away at the tower. Not really much Fiora can do, but if I'd been in that bush to the right, I could have probably killed her. We take the tower. I was going to check their blue, and this is where my first mistake came. We spent way too much time here, and I shouldn't have gone to gank Fiora. I should have just let it be, because Taric comes up from behind us, and for some reason I get to flip a minion right there. Not really much we can do against them. So I start backing off. Katarina comes to the right and gets Cassiopeia right there. She spins but gets stunned and ultimately killed. I get pathed the wrong way to try and go help, so I couldn't do anything. Thankfully, Renekton kills Cassiopeia to die to Fiora, where then I now run out of mana and get instantly killed by a whole Varus. So now Varus is fucking fed to all hell. As I say to Katarina right here, I got pathed. That's when you click on one spot and you go the wrong direction. So as you saw, I went upward instead of downward. If I'd went downward closer to the tower, I would have probably lasted, or I would have at least gotten into the fight sooner and might have been able to kill someone else, or at least save Renekton. Varus gets another kill right there. And our Katarina seemed to hate Renekton for some reason. And I despised Caitlyn at this point. and Lulu too, but Lulu really wasn't trying to do like get Varus to be fed. It was just cheap luck. Varus at this point has a Bloodthirster, Zeal, and Boots, and ultimately it's not as deadly as it seems, but the problem is that his Bloodthirster's just going to eat away in a 1v1. He's going to be tough to kill, especially because he hasn't really died, and it's probably full. Fiora thought our Lulu was going 80 carry, which is kind of true. Was interesting to see how well she was doing in comparison to our 80 carry. So I just end up smiting, instead of smiting Dragon and keeping it for Dragon, I just went for Blue. I flash on a Fiora here once again to try and kill her. Everybody focuses her now. She dies, thankfully. We all get hit by that wave. We all get stunned by Bitch Pants. I ran back over there for some odd fucking reason, and then totally spaced the fact that it was like 2v5, and died to Varus. Or no, I died to Cassiopeia, surprisingly. But Varus did 9/10 of my damage. I don't think I actually looked, but he just did a genetic fuck ton. I don't ask why I say that, I just do. Thankfully Lulu gets Katarina away before dying. I buy my Giant's Belt. The reason I didn't go for straight armor at this point was for the fact that if I have more health, I can just sit there and let Varus farm off me a little before dying, and I might have a better chance of killing him just off of the fact that I can get more damage on him because I have more health to work with. Again, logic's a tiny bit flawed. Bloodthirster will heal him, but it's really at that point who attacks faster, and if I pop my ult, I might be able to. So, go straight back to red here. Nothing really eventful. Excuse me. Anyway, I end up taking red with Smite, except I fail and thought I did more damage, whatever. I think at this point, everybody kind of congeals mid after I take Wraiths. So, it's kind of slow, as I said. It's not really a very eventful game where most of the time you're just sitting there watching me fight in the jungle. Fiora tries to go big on Lulu, ends up flashing to try and kill her, and once again, Katarina and I destroy, and Renekton too. Renekton stole a couple of kills from Cat, and it did piss her off. I felt bad. But sorry about the video lag right there. I don't know why the recorder did that, so whatever. Hindsight, probably shouldn't have showed them that I was walking top, because I probably could have helped her kill Taric. Taric ends up running off right here, and nothing I can do about it.
Trust your instincts.
There's another kill for Varus. If you're keeping track of the kills, I think he's up to 8 or so, maybe 9. And it's just not looking good. Mid's getting pushed like crazy. Okay, Caitlyn dies right there to Varus. I think he's now up to 10. I thought I could kill Cassiopeia right here, so I went big and flipped her and hit her, and then she got healed, and then I got exhausted and I just died like that. And there's another kill for Varus, so he's up to 11 off of my stupidity. And at this point, I mean, as I said, Varus is just doing too much damage, and none of us can get to him. He's fed. I can't. That's going to be game. And I mean, yes, someone's probably going to say, Jason, you're so morbid about instantly calling game right there. No, I'm really not. This game has been always... Once Varus started getting feed, it was game. There's nothing any of us can do about it. Caitlyn's talking in all chat. It's about it not even being Varus, but it really is because you're retarded. And she's still talking in all chat. I don't understand why. If you're gonna complain, complain in normal chat, or complain under your breath like I do in the commentation. Because it's so much easier to complain at people who can comment on your YouTube video, and you just really don't have to care. Just kidding, guys. I love you. So, I believe Fiora gets a kill on Caitlyn, and the rest of the team runs up to where Caitlyn was and kills Fiora right here. And the rest of the team's coming up that way, so I try to alert ping right here off the minimap, and I just failed miserably. because I didn't click the right part of it because of the new pinging system, which I find utterly stupid, but whatever. People like it, so I don't care. So I end up just sitting here, and I believe we go mid afterwards and fall back miserably like scared rats. Got my Wraiths. Wraiths eat shit. We put a ward in that bush, and Cassiopeia automatically throws stuff into that bush, thinking we might still be there. I can understand why she did it. I assume that bush is warded, but I don't know. And then they end up warding the bush. I'm standing in about 10 seconds or so, maybe a bit longer. I don't know. Was that about 10 right there? Maybe. Sure. So I was kind of pissed. And then Varus is right there, and I was like, ooh, I could flip him if the team was here. Nope, team's not there. Can't do anything. I don't know what Caitlyn was doing right there. She started to pop her ult. That was the noise you might have heard. I faked going into the bush to get rid of what's-her-face's Q. Roar at that for nothing because they killed them all before I could get there. And now we fall back in mid all the way back to our tower and do some more failing. Yeah. This is the morbid part of my gameplay commentary, if you couldn't figure it out yet. This game just gets progressively worse as the time goes on. But yeah, it can't be helped. Thankfully this isn't ranked. I decided against playing a ranked game for the sake of my sanity. I flipped Nami right there to try and get her in on the team, and she ends up just throwing everybody off. Katarina dies there because she was foolish, and I try to get into Cassiopeia and end up killing her, and then I get exhausted again and killed. So Caitlyn will bitch at me right about here for saving my, I assume what she means is Q, my flip, for I lost my thought on it. She says save Peel. I assume Peel is my Q. And by that she means save my Q for when people are on her. But at the same time, she was nowhere near that fight half the time. She was sitting in the very back. I wasn't going to do anything about that. Someone Caitlyn throws the surrender timer right there. And everybody said no, she's just being a fucking retard, so I feel no sympathy whatsoever.
So it shall be.
Especially in this case where it's a losing game, I might as well draw it out and get more IP off of it. I rushed down here to help Lulu with Nami, because I thought that she was alone. I'd say she's not alone, Tark's there too, but we could have taken him as well. So, whatever. Fiora was there as well. I back off thinking she's not there, and hey look, she's right there. So she tried to flash away as I flipped her, and that ended up getting her killed because her flash didn't connect. Nice kill steal by Caitlyn right there, and I'm stuck on the other side of the stupid poison. I end up falling back, and then they're like, oh, we should get Dragon. I should have said no. I should have just walked away. But, nope. Tsunami just comes right down the side and goes, nope, here, have a ward. And at that point, we all just have to fall out because none of us are at good health, and I'm the only tanky one, so that's the end of that. I start backing here and open up the bloody menu, and that screws me because if you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, Nami and Varus are coming up into that bush. They both hit me with an ultimate and that, and at that point, I get 2 Qs and die. So, yeah. Kind of awful, and I felt kind of stupid after that one. Mistake number 2, should have just ran. But that's the way life goes. I have my Warmogs now, so next item for me is probably going to be Randomins, which gives me armor and slowing power, but unfortunately I believe I don't even get another item for the rest of the game, because I think this is pretty much it. Well, not permanently pretty much it, but this is the end of me looking at the store. I was going for a Phage next, actually. God, why am I yawning so much? I'm not tired. It's only 9 o'clock. Ugh. Katarina's screaming at this point at everybody. Obviously, she's just noticing the very fed Varus. I pushed Taric off, even though I couldn't save the tower. Just hit the minions, hit the minions, hit the minions, whatever. Really not anything eventful in this part. As I told you guys in the first one of my game time episodes, please feel free to tell me other games you'd like to see me playing. Preferably at the moment make them for the computer, but I will start doing other ones as well. I have a 360, I have a GameCube, I have a PS2, and pretty much any handheld, except for the PSP. I don't have a PSP. But at the same time, handhelds are going to be the worst ones, and I probably won't do any of them, only because I'll have to use like my iPhone camera or another small-ass camera like that to record them. And recording over a screen with a screen is kind of shitty quality, so I probably won't. But feel free to ask me to do a different game. I think the last one I told you, I'll be doing World of Tanks, I'll be doing some more League probably, and some other games as well. I did War Thunder last week, so yeah. Anywho, I ended up staying at this tower, and it pays off because Fiora wants to push for it. So I just sit here, and she comes walking out, and I was like, oh hey! And then she just decides to farm my creeps off, which is fine. I'll let you push under the tower. Say no to the surrender timer again. She falls back, thinking that she can just wait for me to waste all my moves. But I haven't popped my ult yet, and I haven't popped my Q. So I pop my Q on her. Proceed to whack her, pop my ult, pop my slow. And as she jumps, the last bit of the lightning hits her and kills her, so she wasted her ult for absolutely nothing. I come walking back here, and this is just about to be the end of the game, because I can't walk through them, and I'm not going to back right there, so I end up just having to sit here and watch and cry. I go running past, I go flashing over to save myself, thinking maybe I could flip one of them, and this is going to be GG, because we can't do anything. So guys, rate, comment, subscribe. I'll be back next week with another exciting episode of Game Time, and with that, I will leave you be. Have a wonderful evening, and peace.
Defeat.